Hello Strategy Battle Gamers and welcome to yet another video here on the YouTube channel Spelfriending and Fellowship. My name is Andreas Norwegian Viking and today we take a closer look at the battle company for Durin's folk. So Durin's folk is of course the dwarves, and they have the following backstory. The dwarves are an old race, as hard as the stone mountains from which they carve their homes. Although they prefer to keep to themselves, dwarven kin bands can be seen patrolling the areas around their halls or transporting their expertly crafted goods along the trade routes of Middle-earth. Never want to forget the kindness of a friend or the cruelty of a foe. Dwarves wait with sharpened axes to defend their allies and to visit revenge on the ancient enemies of their people. So, of course, a very popular warband, as it is a list that normally don't require that many models, as well as the starting warband can be thoroughly done with just the plastic kits, and that's very popular. So of course with all battle companies you pick a warband, in this case Durin's folk, and you either go for the example starting company or a reinforcement list company where you can pick and choose which warrior, which models to use yourself from that list, and then you basically upgrade those models with equipment, and then you nominate 3 of the models to become heroes, which can in turn buy extra equipment not normally available to the other dwarves. So you get a captain with 1 might, will and fate, and you get 2 sergeants with 1 fate each. An example starting company of the Durin's folk warband is a dwarf warrior with shield, a dwarf warrior with 2-handed axe, a dwarf warrior with a dwarf bow, 2 dwarf rangers with throwing axes, and a dwarf ranger with a dwarf longbow and throwing axes, for a total of 60 gold. Now, I have my own opinion about that kind of warband, but the reinforcement list is dwarf warriors for 8 gold and dwarf rangers for 7 gold. The normal warriors can in turn buy equipment, 1 gold for a shield, a 2-handed axe or a dwarf bow, or 3 gold for a dwarf longbow or throwing axes. Heroes, however, have a different table where they get access to more equipment, but they can also have to pay a premium price for some equipment, as they have, if they achieve +1 in either wounds or attacks, they have to pay the premium price. 1/5 gold, after the slash being the premium price of course, is shield, 2-handed axe or dwarf bows, 2/5 gold dwarf armor, 3/5 gold dwarf throwing axes or dwarf longbows, or 3/10 gold is dwarf heavy armor. You have of course promotions, so your warriors, not your heroes but your warriors, when they receive experience points, for every 5 experience points they receive, you can roll on the advancement table. On a 4 to 5 you get the promotion, on a 6 they become a hero. So dwarf warriors become Iron Hills veterans, Iron Hill veteran warriors then again become Khazad Guard, dwarf rangers become Iron Hills veteran rangers, and then Iron Hills veteran rangers become Iron Guard. So the interesting thing is that normally you wouldn't take the rangers. They lose a point of defense, and longbows plainly just suck, in my opinion. But it's the only way to get Iron Guards, and Iron Guards are quite good with their 2 attacks and fight 4. So it might be worth it to take it in this list, but I'll give you my own example after I've gone through all the special rules. So when we come to the special rules, heroes gain experience just in the manner of normal warriors, but when they receive 5 they roll on a special advancement table where you can get extra stats and you can gain skills on a 5 on the die. So you pick and choose either one skill or relic from your own warband, or you can pick one of the tables, either fight, shoot or command, and then gain skills from those. So the first skill is Hardy. Dwarves are known for their sturdy constitutions, but some individuals are resilient beyond measure. Whenever this hero is forced to roll on the hero injury table, the player may choose to re-roll the result. The second result stands even if it's worse than the original. So a good way to be away with those lower rolls where you lose a leg. Dwarves with a movement of 5, suddenly they get movement of 4, or they lose the ability to gain a shield, or indeed die. Good to have a reroll for that. Next one is Lawmaster. The hero spent years studying the tactic and ability of his dwarf-fold enemies. At the start of his move, the hero can spend a will point to negate an enemy's special rule for the rest of the turn. There is no range to this ability as long as the hero can see the foe and has a will point to spend. It works. So of course this is Floy, Floy's ability, and it works in exactly the same manner, and good to have against some of the nasty special rules that your enemies in turn can receive. So the next special rule is Tunnel Fighters. The hero is used to fight in the cramped and dank confines of cave systems. To represent this on the table, if the hero would be knocked down or trapped, roll a die. On the 4+, the hero is not affected and does not grant additional attacks. Cavalry will receive their extra attacks for charging as usual. So a good way to have the dwarfs be even more resilient, to not be knocked down. Last special rule before we come to the relic is Slayer. A veteran of the long wars between the dwarves and Orckind, this hero is happy as long as he has a sharp blade and orc necks on which to use them. The hero may reroll any fail to wound rolls against orcs, goblins, and Uruk-hai. So all depends on what kind of warbands you use, but then again, in the campaign you would know all the other opponents you might have. So if your campaign is orc, goblin, or Uruk-hai heavy, it's a good rule to spend your experience upgrades on. And lastly, we have the relic, which is Nain's Balanced Axes. Forged to be wielded as a pair, Nain's Balanced Axes can be used in hand-to-hand combat, but are also balanced for quick and accurate throwing. The hero rerolls any fail to wound rolls made when throwing these axes or using them in a fight. The hero may also throw them when charging after winning a heroic combat. The hero with these axes cannot be armed with a shield at the same time, and only one hero may be equipped with Nain's Balance axes at any given time. So very powerful to allow rerolls to wound, especially when you start your game with strength of 3. It can be hard to roll these 6s, and gaining a reroll is always good. You of course gain the ability to the axes, so you have the option to piercing strike normally, but then again rerolling to wounds, especially when you get those great strength upgrades, is a very good rule to have. There's a note about the Durin's Folk battle companies. Iron Guard are already veteran warriors devoted to the internal lifestyle and craft. They cannot be promoted to heroes. So Iron Guard are the only warriors that cannot be upgraded to heroes, and they are also on the last track of their advancement, so they cannot be promoted anymore. So that's the Durin's Folk rules. What I would do is I would do away with ranges as a whole. I would just go for normal warriors. I can gain more warriors that way. I can get in about 6 of them instead of 5, gaining 1 extra model, and also maybe able to use some points on heavy armor. normal dwarf bows are better in my opinion than dwarf longbows. They have better strength, and they have, although they have reduced range, it doesn't really matter in small games like this. You will not have a battle line who's just shooting away in battle companies. So that's my reasoning for that. Please tell me if I'm wrong. I know people that use dwarf rangers in a great manner, but I wouldn't personally. You also lose that the benefit of wielding axes and being able to piercing strike with rangers, as they will probably drop down too much in defense. So please join us tomorrow as we further the series with the list of Erebor and Dale, so more dwarfs, but now with the addition of warriors of Dale as well, humans. And as always, please comment, like, share and subscribe, and do support your hobby.